what we've got here, and this really solidifies how much work upfront goes into these projects, just so we can reduce the amount of risk, of course, as well, is how we validate our designs. And that's the key thing for us, is simulation, not only for High but for our partners as well, for the amount of scope that they're covering, basically. So even though our responsibility is handing over totes to conveyor points at 300 an hour, there is still a much bigger picture here. So I know, Jared, you've kind of touched upon what it is that you've been able to provide, as even accommodating the value-added services as well. But for this material flow, you and CDW work quite closely together to understand the operation and which layout would benefit them the most.
Yeah, I think it's important, especially before we freeze designs and start any kind of manufacturing of systems, to really pre-validate. I have this thought and conversation lots of times where I'd much rather solve a problem on a simulation screen than with 150 people on site with toolboxes waiting for somebody to make a decision, right? So I'm always been a massive believer on proving as much out as possible before this physical product. And this job was no different. CDW's data was provided, and we worked through that through different workshops as part of our standard process. We do level 1 design, level 2 design, and we start nailing down different subsystems. The important thing, it is not unique to CDW, where the business is unique, but from a material flow is not unique, because we always fold in the manual elements of the customer's operation into the simulation.
Yeah.
Because what we really want to understand is not just how the mechanics perform. We want to understand what different impacts, different situations, scenarios, risks, whatever happens on the business. What if 10 people don't turn up? What if this conveyor section goes down? What if it takes you twice as long to process a decant delivery? What if it takes you half as long? And then all of a sudden, what happens if? And you're never going to be able to get through absolutely every possible outcome ever.
No,
as part of a simulator, but you can get pretty bloody close.
Yeah. You can paint all these different scenarios to be prepared for.
You can really start to de-risk it. And
correct. And I think that's such an important point that should not be overlooked as well. As much detail as we can get up front, the best we can help you out to be able to optimize it as much as possible. So no, fantastic point there. All right. So whilst I'm on this slide as well, and we touched upon simulation as part of the validation as well, I just want to put a key point as well. That's one of the core elements for a high robotic solution as well. We would not want to commit to a solution unless we had the full validation by simulation. That's key for us to be able to sign off our fleet size. If we were to turn up to site and we were promising CDW and a milestone, say, okay, we need X amount of totes per hour, this is the fleet size, we turn up to site and that's not achieved, it's on High Robotics to be able to make sure and ensure that we bridge that gap as well. So that's how confident we are within our simulation process and validation, basically.
One of the